I think having proton beam in this area is really a great step, because that will help not just patients in Kansas City, it will help actually patients in not just Kansas, Missouri and surrounding states, because there is no other proton beam center closer to Kansas City. So it's going to help a whole lot of patients. Risks are there. I mean, there is still some scatter radiation to the surrounding normal tissue, but it's much less as compared to. So there are still some risks involved, but they are much less as compared to conventional radiation. Proton beam therapy is a newer therapy that uses what we call protons, which are heavy particles, to deliver radiation to the tumor. It is different from conventional therapy because it is kind of more targeted and delivers radiation directly to the tumor while minimizing the damage to the surrounding tissues. That's what makes it so special. So the surrounding tissues get much more affected with the traditional methods, while proton beam kind of minimizes the damage to the normal tissues, the normal organs and structures around the tumor. Especially in pediatric age group, it's a huge advantage, because growing children, we don't want to damage their surrounding organs, and it's a huge advantage if we can preserve and minimize the damage to the normal tissues. Roman has high risk metastatic neuroblastoma, and neuroblastoma is a pediatric cancer of the adrenal gland, but he had his tumor spread to multiple bones all over his body. He had a huge tumor in his belly, and he was very, very sick when he presented. It's a tumor of a gland which is sitting on the top of your kidney called adrenal gland, and his neuroblastoma was high risk, and it was metastatic to multiple bones in his body. So he was what we call stage 4 high risk neuroblastoma. Absolutely, yes. Without any intervention, it would have killed him within a matter of months. Proton beam therapy was used again to target the tumor, and it was also used in his some of his bony metastatic sites where the tumor was still there. Again, with him being a growing child, it really helped in targeting the radiation just to the tumor and not spreading it as much to his normal tissues. He's been doing pretty well. He actually completed his treatment more than 3 years ago. It's almost 3.5 years now. He has been in remission since then, and he has shown he's growing tall and being a normal kid at school. I would say we still continue to watch him closely, just because his tumor is high risk. We watch them for at least 5 years or more. But the further we go away from his end of treatment, the better his prognosis is. He had to go to MD Anderson in Texas. I think he spent 6 to 7 weeks there. Mom had to live there, for about 6 to 7 weeks, which was, I'm sure, pretty hard for the family. So having it closer to home will help not only patients like Roman, but a lot of other pediatric patients where their growth and development and preservation and keeping their normal tissues and normal structures intact is of great importance. So it would have really helped if we have it close to home. Proton beam has been used in prostate cancer. It has been used in some tumors of the skull and spine, even in adult patients. So yes, it would absolutely benefit adult patients the same way. Brain tumors is another big group that can benefit from proton beam, just like again, brain being such an important organ, we want to, if there is a tumor inside the brain, you want to focus the radiation therapy just to the tumor and not damage the surrounding brain, because again, effects on the brain with conventional radiation can be devastating.
We went to a doctor. We went to a children's pediatric clinic, a good one in Moscow, and they told us that they couldn't help him. Basically, they said that he was very, very ill, that this was very, very, very serious. They explained that he was critically ill, and they explained that they did not have the technology or the that they couldn't do anything. I mean, they said they could help relieve, but they couldn't really treat beyond a certain point. I guess it would have been December of 2014. My son just kind of fell ill. Didn't seem anything, critical or anything unusual. He just had a fever that wouldn't go away for about 3 weeks. So it was kind of, we didn't know what it was. It was, of course, very scary. So that was about 4 years ago. No, that was 5 years ago. That was in 2014. And then he was diagnosed on, I believe, January 15th of 2015 with stage 4 neuroblastoma of the abdomen. It was, of course, the worst news you can, well, not the worst news, but one of the worst news you could ever imagine hearing as a parent. You're just devastated. Your first thought is, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? How are we going to do this? What is our future going to look like? And what kind of, who can help us, basically. As soon as we knew what he had, he was diagnosed there, but we got on a plane in 3 days, and we were here at the University of Kansas. They accepted us. Dr. Panicker is a wonderful doctor. Dr. Smith was our doctor at the time. Wonderful doctors, absolutely wonderful doctors. And as soon as they saw him, they admitted him, pretty much, almost immediately. And he was in the hospital for about a month and a half, just being stabilized. So he came in anemic, of course, stage 4 cancer. He was malnourished because he hadn't been eating and dehydrated, but we got him here. So once we were here, I just felt like we really fell into the arms of people who could help us. The sense of relief when you know that you've gone somewhere where people are going to help you, where people are going to not just help you, but go out of their way to make sure that everything's okay, from where you're staying to every step of your journey, basically. So I felt immediately from the minute the secretary here at the University of Kansas Health System answered the phone, I felt like we were going to be okay, because she offered to meet us at the airport. They gave us directions to get right here, just almost for the minute that we walked through. And I met Dr. Panicker right there, sitting right there. I knew that we were in the best hands that we could be. He's a very active 8-year-old boy.
Plays Major League Baseball.
He plays baseball. He loves farming. He loves, my parents, I grew up on a farm. So he loves sports, he loves farming. At this point, here we are coming on 5 years out from initial diagnosis.
Mom, I love tanks.
He loves tanks. 5 years out from initial diagnosis, he's just pretty much the most typical, knock on wood,
and I like World War II history.
History, yeah.
And then now I'm feeling like fine and like I'm in good hands. And at first I was like, what the heck's going on to me? Am I having bad stuff or good stuff? Like, is this bad or good? Is it good? Or will we ever come back to our old place? And then the Royals, and then my second are the Pittsburgh Pirates.
On one hand, we were very lucky because my husband was working in Houston. So we knew we were going to Houston. We knew we'd have a place to stay. We knew that we'd be okay. But I mean, we were just very lucky that way. Had we not had that situation, had we had to, I don't know what we would have done if we did not have somewhere to go, basically. I mean, that proton beam therapy was by far one of the most important treatments that he went through. He went through 5 treatments, and I think the proton beam was really, especially for someone as young as he is, for a pediatric patient, was really something that was unique, was not available. I mean, we were willing to go anywhere to get it, but it is so important for people who are going through his type of treatment that they get it, because it is unique. It does not harm any of the surrounding tissue. So for a child who at the time was 5, 6 years old? No, you were 5 years old.
No.
4 years old. 4 years old.
Yeah.
That he would be able to go through this treatment without any damage to the surrounding tissue. I mean, that's remarkable.
Well, and so kind of what's your...
Well, I think it would be so wonderful if we could have it in the area, this thing, because one thing I think any parent who's gone through it, and it's not just me as a parent, I've seen my father go through this, I've seen some relatives go through this, you never know. You never know what's going to happen. You just never know. So it would be wonderful if we knew we had this treatment available for us that's not out of state, that's within driving distance for us. That would be wonderful. So, and I think it would be so important to the pediatric patients in the area to know that they had it, that they had this treatment available for them right here. Yeah, well, life's been just pretty much gung-ho since he finished his treatment. I got my teaching license. I'm now his teacher at the school, and just playing baseball and just being a normal person.
Whenever kids, I get really mad whenever kids misbehave, my mom. I'm looking forward to going to Russia this year, playing baseball, going to the Royal game also today.
That's all good stuff.
And we have a new school teacher. That's basically all. Wow, I was thinking, what's going on? I remember a lot of it, but I didn't know what was going on. That was a good thing. I didn't know what was going on. Was it good or bad? If I had treatment right now, I don't know what's going on. But thank goodness it was when I was little. Actually, it hurt. Sometimes it hurt, but at the start it didn't hurt one bit. I just I felt really tired or something like that. Oh, I feel fine. I feel happy.
I don't think he really understood, honestly, what was happening. That's when he said, thank goodness I was little when I got it, because I didn't understand. He said, I was curious why I left, but I didn't understand what was happening to me. And I don't think he did. I don't think he knew. So he was ill. It's wonderful. I mean, there's no other words for how you feel when you see what he went through to where he is now. I think anybody who goes through this looks at life differently. You just take one day at a time, and you appreciate absolutely every single minute, because I think you realize what a miracle life is, truly. Every single second of the day, every single minute that we're given is really a miracle, because, everybody here possibly could have had a different outcome.